Sometimes people are given a challenging job, which requires a change or risk. Where can we find resources to meet these challenges? Israel's release from Babylonian captivity reveals that we can have faith that God will provide the people and resources to fulfill His purposes. Ezra chapter 1 begins with God fulfilling His promise to return His people to the land of promise after 70 years of exile. Some call this Israel's second Exodus. And that brings us to our key verse for today, which reads, "And some of the chief of the fathers, when they came to the house of the Lord, which is at Jerusalem, offered freely for the house of God to set it up in His place." Ezra chapter 2, verse 68. Ezra tells us that the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, to issue the proclamation. Stirred is from the Hebrew word, or, meaning to arouse from sleep, and spirit is a translation of the Hebrew ruach. In this case, the word refers to the seat of human will and intellect and emotion. By stirring Cyrus's heart to be kind toward those exiled people, God enabled the word of His promise to Jeremiah to be fulfilled. Cyrus recognizes that his task to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem is something God hath charged him with. The word means that God has placed it in His care to see it to its completion. In the current verse, as well as the next, Cyrus is clear he was not speaking about just a God, but the God who is at Jerusalem. Since Cyrus understands that the Jewish Lord is over in Jerusalem, he sees no reason to exclusively worship Him from all the way over in Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar had looted the temple of God and taken the vessels of the house of the Lord as prizes and proof of the power of the Babylonian gods. God wanted His people and temple again, and He was going to use King Cyrus to put things in motion. No matter how long it takes, God can bring His people back to the place of true worship and restore all that has been lost. In this sense, Cyrus is a type or picture of the Messiah who seeks by word and work to restore humanity to the place of true worship and celebration. The term anointed is used for various people in the Old Testament. They were all God's agents working out His plan of salvation. They all prefigured the true Messiah, who could provide true and lasting salvation. Many believe that Sheshbazzar and Zerubbabel are two different people, but it is more likely that they were the same person. The name Sheshbazzar is Babylonian in origin, but Zerubbabel is Hebrew. As Sheshbazzar, a Babylonian official, this man has little to do in Ezra's account. However, as Zerubbabel, the Jewish prince, he is well remembered. He led the exiles in their return to Judah from their Babylonian captivity. Ezra records that once the group finally arrived in Jerusalem, they immediately gave offerings to God. Now that the people have arrived and taken their first steps toward building the temple, they can settle into building back up their nation. They return to their ancestral lands where God appointed for each tribe in the Promised Land. Here's our lesson. There are people in our society who have been cast aside because of some unfortunate event in their lives. Their possessions may have even been taken away from them as well. The individual may have placed himself or herself in a position that caused these misfortunes to occur, but when God shows mercy, we must show mercy and lend a helping hand and strengthen these individuals to stand on their own 2 feet again. This week, let's think about somebody who stands in need of help. What can we do to help right now? Let's ask God to guide our way. Thank you so much for listening and subscribing to iLights. Heavenly Father, fill our hearts with what we truly desire, for who we truly seek is you.